The EU is too bureaucratic. These are some of the most common accusations people have against the EU, and they are not all wrong. Firstly, the EU's election process for its presidents isn't clear, and yes, there are multiple roles with that title. This has caused confusion, leading to the saying, "Who do I call if I want to call Europe?" emphasizing the uncertainty about who truly leads the organization. Furthermore, EU decision-making can indeed be slow. For example, since September 2020, member states have been trying to agree on a migration and asylum policy. And despite the efforts, it has not yet passed, with all 27 countries having different views. Additionally, the bureaucracy in the EU is infamous for its extensive regulations, which some argue stifle innovation and flexibility. But is this all about to change? 2 years ago, during the Conference on the Future of Europe, EU citizens demanded comprehensive EU reform. Today, a pivotal reform proposal is finally set to be debated in the European Parliament on the 20th to 23rd of November. Here at EU Made Simple, we're buzzing with excitement. We've always been very vocal about the nitty-gritty challenges the European Union faces, from how we elect our president to the constant hurdle of country vetoes. And guess what? This fresh proposal could be the breakthrough we've been waiting for. This video will unravel the 3 big highlights of this groundbreaking proposal and give you an idea of the road ahead. The first big shift in this proposal is reshaping the EU institutions by giving the Parliament and the Council of the EU equal power in decision-making. Let me explain. The EU currently has 3 major institutions in the lawmaking process. Firstly, the European Commission. Think of it as the EU's idea factory, where fresh EU law proposals are born, with a president, currently Ursula von der Leyen, at the helm. Secondly, there's the European Parliament, which is essentially our voice in the EU. We elect its members, and they're responsible for discussing, tweaking, and voting on those law ideas from the European Commission. Thirdly, we have the Council of the EU. Picture it as an elite club where each EU country is represented by a minister. They too have a say, diving into debates and casting their votes on the proposals. For any new law to make the cut, both the Parliament and the Council need to be on board. On key decisions, however, the Council plays the main role, while the Parliament is only asked to give an opinion or approve what has already been decided. Obviously, this is a super quick overview with a lot of simplification, so if you would like more detail, check out my playlist on the European Union Explained, linked above. So what are the proposed changes? Let's start with the European Commission. Today, the EU Commission has 27 commissioners, 1 from each country, including 1 president, called the President of the European Commission. In the proposal, the EU Commission will get a sleeker look with a new name executive, only 15 commissioners, and a name change for the President to President of the Union. The President gets to handpick their team, as long as it's geographically and demographically balanced. Next, there's a European Parliament. Today, the EU Parliament has limited power. It can't propose new laws and has a minimal role in choosing the Commission President. However, the proposal empowers the European Parliament, granting it the authority to finally propose new laws in tandem to the Commission. Furthermore, the European Parliament would also get more say in the election of the Commission President, as they will be granted the ability to nominate the candidate. This would mark a pivotal shift. Currently, the European Commission President is selected behind closed doors by the 27 EU leaders. Critics have questioned how democratic this process is, and allowing more involvement of the Parliament will make this process more transparent. The EU leaders will not be left out completely though, as they still need to approve the nomination by a qualified majority. With the new proposal, the Parliament would also be granted the power to remove individual commissioners or the entire Commission through a simple majority. Today, it is only possible to dismiss the entire Commission all at once with a 2/3 majority. Finally, the Parliament will gain the same power as the Council, as they will co-decide on all key EU policies. The EU will then have a bicameral system, where the Parliament will be the Chamber of Citizens and the Council will be the Chamber of States. Next, there's the Council of the EU. Today, the Council of the EU has significant power, particularly in fields like defense, foreign policy, and fiscal matters, thanks to each country's veto power. One of the standout features in the proposal, and honestly, one of my personal favorites, is the idea to scrap vetoes entirely. Instead, qualified majority voting, also called QMV, would be used. With QMV, decisions require the agreement of 55% of member states, representing at least 65% of the EU's population, instead of unanimous approval. In my opinion, this would be a huge win for Europe. With leaders like Orban and potentially Fico from Slovakia, the veto currently lets a single country hold the whole of the EU hostage. I touched on 3 institutions earlier, but there's a 4th impacted by this proposal. Actually, the EU boasts 7 institutions, but for this video, we'll focus on these 4. Kudos to anyone who can list all 7 in the comments, without cheating of course. So the 4th key player is the European Council, which is made up of the EU country leaders alongside a president, steering the EU's overarching strategies. The proposal plans to lessen its decision power, putting the new President of the Union in charge, the same president as the European Commission we discussed earlier, meaning there would be one president leading the Commission and the European Council. Interestingly, the proposal also outlines plans for EU-wide referendums on big issues, allowing citizens to have more say. How these votes would work, though, is still up in the air. That wraps up the first major reform focus. Here at the EU Made Simple, we're big fans of this direction, especially the emphasis on electing the president and ditching the vetoes. It tackles 2 core EU challenges, the democratic gap and the pace of decision-making. The proposed reform's second focus is widening the Union's competencies. In other words, widening the EU's areas of action. But what does this mean? Competencies outline who does what between the EU and its member states, and are grouped into various types. First, areas. For example, they decide on custom duties or monetary policy for countries using the euro. Secondly, there are these shared competencies. Here, both the EU and its member countries can make decisions. Think of this as teamwork in areas like the environment and energy. Then there are the supporting competencies. Here the EU can assist member countries, but can't overrule them. This happens in sectors like culture or education. There's also a special category called special competencies, which covers unique cases such as foreign policy, but the main 3 types give a good overview of how decision-making is distributed. Today, the EU and its member states jointly address environmental and biodiversity issues. The new proposal seeks to give the EU sole authority in these areas, allowing for bold goals to combat global warming and protect biodiversity. In areas like public health, civil protection, industry, and education, the proposal envisions an elevated role for the EU, transitioning these from supporting to shared competencies. Furthermore, the proposal seeks to expand the Union's joint responsibilities in areas like energy, foreign affairs, defense, external border management, and cross-border infrastructure. Yet it lacks detailed specifics on these matters. That wraps up the second major proposed reform highlight. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the Israel-Hamas war in the Middle East, we at the EU Made Simple feel it's important for the EU to work together on defense, which is something we will be covering in a future video, so please subscribe if you are interested. The third focus of the proposed reform is to boost the EU's authority in ensuring member states follow EU laws, especially its core values. Presently, there's a mechanism in place, known as Article 7, often referred to as the nuclear option. This provision, when triggered, has the power to strip a member state of certain rights, including their voting right, if they are found in breach of essential EU principles. Yet its potency has been undermined by informal political arrangements, like the mutual understanding between Hungary and Poland, where they promised to not use it against each other. To address this, the proposal intends to move the responsibility of triggering this article from the European Council, where it can be vetoed by a single member state, to the more impartial Court of Justice of the European Union. So obviously these are a lot of changes. So what can we expect next? Will this pass? Well, the sponsor of today's video, the Union of European Federalists, or UEF, has given us a roadmap.
This proposal has had the support of 5 political groups of the European Parliament, and it is indeed a proposal for a more federal treaty for Europe. Now we have the next important challenge, because in the 22nd of November we will have the plenary vote on this same report. Once it is approved by the European Parliament, there will be another very important step, which is to have a majority in the European Council to convene a convention in order to debate this proposal by the European Parliament.
To summarize, the European Parliament will cast their votes on this transformative proposal by the 23rd of November. If it gets the green light there, it moves on to the European Council, where it needs to rally a simple majority to keep the momentum going. But it doesn't stop there. If we clear that hurdle, the stage is set for a convention to dive deep into the treaties of the European Union. Then there's the final challenge, achieving unanimity among member states to bring this vision to life. It really is a thrilling journey ahead. This is what we think. We will not hide our opinion that we think that these changes are a good move for the EU, as it gives us more democracy, faster decision-making, and a better platform to tackle the world's biggest problems. However, it is a very long road ahead. We feel that it is possible, likely even, that the European Parliament and the European Council will muster a majority to start an EU convention, where the treaties can be discussed. But this is where the problems will start. Only 18 months ago, 10 EU countries opposed EU treaty change. And guess what? At the end of the convention, all 27 EU member states need to unanimously agree. And this will be incredibly difficult. A heartfelt shout out to our sponsor UEF. Established in 1946, the Union of European Federalists has been a steadfast advocate for a European federation. UEF is a cross-border, non-governmental political collective of dedicated individuals, both women and men, fervently working towards the vision of a European federation. Please let us know what your favorite reform is in the comments. And please subscribe and like the video if you enjoy the content. And if you want to support us further, please sign up to Patreon. Until next time.
Okay, now you should be able to hear us. Excellent. So we'll cut the sound on David's computer. Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. So, hi, good evening and welcome. Second start for this event, More Europe Now, on the Saturdays for Europe feedback event. I am with Olaya Pastor del Valle. I said it correctly.
Perfect.
Excellent. Very good. And we're here today at the FEC. Olaya, what is the FEC and why is it important that we're here tonight?
I think it's nice to be there because it's a historical place in Strasbourg, but even for Europe. So I discovered a few weeks ago that in this building and maybe in this room, there was first meetings from Federalists in Strasbourg with Pierre Fimelin, even Robert Schuman. So I think it's a nice place to do this feedback for Saturdays for Europe.
Yes, indeed. So a very important place for Federalists. And so tonight we will make a rundown of our activities in the last few weeks, we can say, and especially this weekend, where several of our sections, national sections, organized events in several cities all across Europe. You will hear from their testimonies. The organizers of these events will explain to you what they've done, what they've seen on their street actions, what they heard from the citizens, and what their prospect is for the reform of the treaties of the European Union, because that's why we do these kinds of actions today. And before we start with these interventions, I would like to give the floor to Luisa Tromelini to explain to us what this action Saturdays for Europe is. What does it mean? Why we are in Strasbourg this week? Luisa, the floor is yours.
And Davide for the organization and the moderation of this event. Few words from UF side on these initiatives. Well, the aim was, first of all, to organize and show support to what is happening inside the European Parliament with this AFCO report and with these proposals for the amendment of the treaties. For two reasons. It's the follow-up of the Conference of the Future of Europe, so it's important that it keeps the commitment taken by the institutions towards the citizens, and we want also to show that it does not happen in the void, but there are inside our cities that at the grassroots there is support for this work that the European Parliament is doing. The second thing is also to give information, because unfortunately, as often happens, what is going on in Strasbourg is not known and not shared in both in national political debate nor in information media. So it's important to activate with our presence and to bring directly, and also involving media and with using social media as well, but also directly on our at local level to spread this information. Also because this is a very important democratic moment, and it cannot fail because of the lack of participation or awareness, which is one of the risks that we are falling. We also try to strengthen consensus on that, because we talk directly to politicians at all levels. And so we try to make everybody understand that is in the interests of citizens, civil society, and also of politicians at all levels, those who are working in municipalities, those who are into the national parliament, because everybody needs a stronger Europe. Then to prepare, and I close here, mobilization in view both of the European elections to bring this item at the heart of the political debate, and in view of the convention. So this is why we are here. We have organized, as you will hear, several moments of public demonstrations or involvement of many different subjects, citizens or politicians or civil society representatives. And here we are bringing this experience to not only to show the presence of the Federalists, but especially their work at the grassroots level. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you, Lisa. Nice, fine. Okay, don't worry. And I think we can already start our round table with these feedbacks from Saturdays for Europe with Stefano, who is here with us now. So the floor is yours. okay.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, thanks a lot.
So let us know.
Okay. Just to try to explain what it happened during the last weekend. We supported the proposal of a convention and the activities of the European Parliament with a campaign we call Saturday for Europe. And last weekend, we promoted different events in 20 Italian cities. Handed out flyers, and with signs. We rely on the streets and square of our city. We organize kind of Federalist info point to have the opportunity to meet, to discuss with our citizens in order to know what they know about the rule of the European Parliament, and more in particular, what they know, if they know anything about the recent proposal of the European Parliament to have a convention to reform our treaty. On the occasion of this meeting with our citizens, we've had also the opportunity to meet local authority, national member of the Italian Parliament, asking them to support our initiative, signing our documents, and working inside the Italian Parliament, supporting the activities to support this reform proposed by the European Parliament. There is a long list of city and little town when last weekend all Federalist activists work meeting people, organize this Federalist info point. And I believe that better than my words are the photo and also the videos that our activists realized during the last weekend. I don't want to forget any of the town where we work with our Federalist info point. But for example, Milan, I want to mention Milano, where we met the Onorevole Quartapelle, member of the National Parliament. But we organized meetings in Brescia, Bergamo, Pavia, Ferrara, Verona, Padova, Mantova, Valpolicella, Ancona, Alessandria, Genova, Latina, Torino, Monza, and also in little town like Pinerolo Po, Afragola, or Stradella. And in Lodi, like in Milan, we met a member of the Federalist Intergroup inside the National Parliament, Mr. Onorevole Tabacci, in collaboration with the local section. I know there are several photos now are following, but maybe there is also the opportunity to have the speech of Onorevole Quartapelle in Milano. Is it possible to have it? Yeah. Because better than my words are the pictures and also to watch the video we realized. It's coming. Yes, she is.
Buongiorno, siamo qui con Elia Quartapelle della Camera dei Deputati, parlamentare del PD, e hai visto questa proposta che è stata redatta dalla Commissione Affari Costituzionali del Parlamento Europeo. Volevamo chiederti cosa ne pensi. Noi sicuramente ne siamo entusiasti, crediamo che ci siano alcuni cambiamenti fondamentali nella struttura dell'Unione. Cosa ne pensi e anche cosa pensi succederà in plenaria tra qualche giorno? Pensi che la proposta passerà? Quali sono le tue...
Dobbiamo lavorare perché passi, poi vedremo. Questi voti sono sempre voti che non si sanno fino all'ultimo e speriamo che le cose vadano bene. Io penso che questo è un momento di grande difficoltà internazionale. Si vede bene da un lato la capacità reattiva dell'Unione Europea. L'Unione Europea ha reagito bene all'invasione russa in Ucraina, ma vediamo anche la difficoltà proattiva. Vediamo in queste ore l'assenza di fatto di una strategia comune, reale delle istituzioni europee e degli Stati membri sulla dolorosissima vicenda di Israele e di Gaza. Quindi è proprio in questo momento in cui c'è bisogno di una riforma dei trattati nella direzione auspicata dalla Commissione Affari Costituzionali, cioè che chiarisca le competenze e soprattutto che rafforzi proprio quelle competenze su cui deve esserci competenza esclusiva dell'Unione, sia per il movimento federalista europeo, cioè la parte di difesa e sicurezza e di politica estera. Io mi auguro che dopo il passaggio parlamentare ci possano essere tutta una serie di altri passaggi, in particolare penso che il momento più importante saranno le elezioni europee dell'anno prossimo, quando nella campagna elettorale dovremo tutti quanti spiegare ai cittadini le idee di Europa. Sicuramente l'idea federalista è quella che si adatta di più in questa fase alle esigenze di avere un'unione più forte, unita, più determinata sullo scenario internazionale. Quindi vi ringrazio molto per tutto quello che state facendo e continuiamo insieme.
Quartatali is member of the Partito Democratico, but I want to underline that she stayed with us all the morning. It was not just to have a walk, to spend a few words with us, but she stayed with us all the morning. So, well, what I hope to mention all the city where we were active during last weekend. And just to underline one aspect, because after the conference on the future of Europe, this moment, this week, these days are a crucial step for our future. And this is the reason of all the struggles we are doing in our cities to support the activities of the European Parliament, because I believe that it's an historical moment if the European Parliament will be able to open a convention to have a reform of our treaty. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to you. And yeah, I think we can continue the round around Europe. And I don't know if Thorsten from MoreEuropeNow is ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's there. So nice to see you, Thorsten. The floor is yours.
Hello. Hi. Hola. Salut. Hello to all European friends and friends of Europe. Thanks a lot for the impressions from Italy. In the short time of preparation possibility, spontaneously, also German sections have been active, and German sections support the European idea and the idea of the European Federalists. Can you hear me? Well, I hope that you can hear me. I do not hear you. So I still continue. We did take action on regional sections such as Rheinland-Pfalz, Hamburg, Bavaria, and Baden-Württemberg, and local sections as Mainz, Cologne, and Memmingen. We think that the results of the conference on the future of Europe cannot be ignored if we want to encourage European citizens to support the idea of the European Union and to guarantee that every European's voice is important for the European Union. There have been meetings in the city of Mainz and Memmingen on online activities in other sections such as Hamburg. Germans are still in favor of a real Spitzenkandidaten principle because they like to know for whom they're voting before they vote. Some are struggling with the difficult process in the EU taking decision making, and so and taking the right decisions afterwards. So unanimity is a topic for Germans. So these are some impressions from Germany. Thanks a lot. And I give the floor to the next. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Torsten. Still having echoes here. Yeah, thank you very much. Very instructive. I think next is Catherine Vieildan for the Group Europe. So Group Europe is the section dedicated to the personnel of the European institutions. Catherine, I think you are with us. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about the actions that you organize this weekend? And thank you for being here.
Thank you. Hello from Brussels and hello to Strasbourg. Very happy to be with you, even at a distance. Yes, last Thursday, Group Europe met. It was a sort of very quick response to the situation, given the urgency this week. And we are one of the sections present in Brussels, of course. What we did is we decided we would join, despite the weather, in Brussels in Parc du Cinquantenaire, which is, you know, we have an arch there, and this is a reminder of the foundation of the Belgian state. But it's also a symbol of Europe. So we made a few pictures. Thanks to the Secretariat, because we want to join and promote mobilization of citizens, and we want to encourage Parliament to press for more action and more progress in Europe, particularly in front of the key challenges we are facing today with war, Ukraine, Gaza and Israel and Armenia, for instance, but also the key challenges of climate change and digital Europe, among many. So we must move on and find ways to be more efficient. And this has to be brought to the attention of the citizens. So Brussels, under the arch of the Cinquantenaire, was one of the places where the Federalists were. Then what we did as well is we have tried to reach out to a number of arenas in Brussels itself. For example, we made contact with one of the communes, the local authorities in Brussels. That was on Saturday morning. In Etterbeek, for those who are familiar with Brussels, it's the commune where the institutions are located. And we also made contact today with the trade unions, those that try to support the public service, the European public service, and who are in favor of Europe. We are actually partners with them. And there was a small chat and a presentation of the Saturdays for Europe and the deadline, the landmark, which is this week in Strasbourg. Last, of course, we advertised the campaign on the social media, especially the Facebook page. And last, that was a sort of different directions. Two of our members are now with you. They have driven all the way from Brussels to Strasbourg and returning tomorrow. So we count on them to be active and defy rain and sleet and the bad weather to support the campaign. These are Alfonso and Francesco. So they are representing us as a Group Europe in order to be with you also physically. So good luck to the campaign. We are fully supportive, and of course we will continue to draw the attention of European citizens in Brussels and elsewhere to the role that the European Parliament is to do. He has to play, and we count on our MEPs to do that. and we count on the citizens to express their opinion on their needs, because the expectations for Europe to act are very high. So this is all I had to say very briefly. Very happy to join you, and congratulations for the campaign.
Thank you very much, Catherine. And before I leave Olaya to present our next guest, I just want to say that yes, indeed, we have a little public actually here in Strasbourg. You cannot see it, but on the other side of the camera, we have a few people who see us live and in person. So thank you to them. We try to have this little experiment with both live and physical events. And yes, we have our next speaker, Olaya.
Daphne is with us. Nice to see you again, Daphne.
Hi.
So let us know how it was Saturday for you.
Good afternoon, also from my side, from the Greek session. It was a very short time to organize big event in Greece. We promised with the convention to have a big event and great picture in the Acropole, but till then we would like to support this important historical moment, the initiative of the European Parliament as a citizens. I think it's really important to have to commit ourselves to promote the reform proposed by the European Parliament. I think the report it's a concrete follow-up of citizens' will, as expressed in the Conference on the Future of Europe. So we will be really very active to support, as a federalist, as a committed European, the next step of this process, hoping that we will have to celebrate the opening of the convention and the calling for the convention very soon after the adoption by the Parliament first of the report, and then the clear message at the level of the European Council. I think the report, it's a clear message, not only for the political group, but for us as citizens, that our will, as expressed in the conference, it's has a follow-up at the political level. Good luck for the colleagues. They are in Brussels for tomorrow, and for Wednesday, of course.
Thanks, Daphne. Yes.
So thank you very much, Daphne. I see also we have some comments in the chat. And right before I give the floor to our next speaker, I wanted just to come back to some comments that we have. I see that people are interested about these actions and would like to reproduce it in their own cities. So please be free. Actually, I think the Saturdays for Europe Action is not over with this week, but of course it will continue. And the fight for federalism and to encourage people to fight for stronger Europe, more federalist Europe is never over, and will probably never be over. You're free to join the movement actually. And with this being said, yes, we also have a comment from Carlo Giannone, which is a retired economist, also who fought for federalism for many years. So thank you for your efforts, thank you for your actions. And let's go now to our next speaker, Kevin, and I don't want to miss your name, Kevin Daniel Febres. Yes. The floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Hello. We in Spain, and specifically in Madrid, we were a bit unorthodox with the method we decided for promoting this activity. One person from the board and we attended an invitation to a podcast by a magazine that covers international affairs. The magazine is called Global Square. They have an interesting, publication about international affairs, especially European affairs. And we decided that going to this podcast would be a good idea as a way to promote this activity and as a way to talk about the reform, about the treaties, and about everything that's going on in Europe right now, especially with also the elections coming. So we had the opportunity to be interviewed, both of us, by the anchor of the podcast, and we discussed a bit about the things that need to change in Europe, the reforms of the treaties, especially in the parliament and in the whole institutional build of the union, and how we need to keep progressing towards a federalist state and a federalist union. So we had the chance to exchange ideas with them, to also get the vision of Global Square about these European matters, and to talk about the need, to engage the citizens of Europe with all the plans we are developing right now, and especially to underline the importance and stress the importance of the reform of the treaties right now at this moment of the European juncture. We mentioned the crisis that Euro has been through, with the Euro crisis, with the Brexit, with the Ukrainian war and COVID, and even the immigration crisis as well. So we mentioned that Europe had different responses to this crisis, and that right now the reform would give us the tools for the responses to be even better and more adequate for each moment. So yeah, that was very much our activity here in Madrid. I don't know if anyone has.
So thank you, Kevin. I think it's the main purpose also for Saturdays for yours is to inform. We have this problem that it's hard to explain what's happening in Parliament, and even more with the reforms or with the project of reforms. So I think the podcast is very good idea, and you know very well in Europe. So
Yes, indeed. And I think we have one last speaker, Esther from Hungary. I don't know if you're here personally or if you have a video for us. Oh no, sorry, I missed the order. Sorry, big mistake. Yes, we have Reinis Hils from the Netherlands. Reinis, you're with us. You have the floor, and thank you for your actions this weekend.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, also being online, and happy to be a part of this monumental event in European history. So yeah, I'm right now in the Netherlands in a small city called Zwolle, where we also did our event, our mini street action. Me with my team. We printed out mini posters, like the templates were already made by UEF, and we just printed them out, as well as a mini poster about our own section of Jeff Zwolle, and put them around the whole city, including multiple places in our university, in multiple libraries in city center, as well as student houses. And our aim with this is to raise awareness in the public society in general, but also within youth, because we ourselves are a youth organization. We are trying to engage the youth in European democratic processes as well, including this monumental decision of treaty change. So what we are also doing is also preparing for European Parliament elections that are also a big opportunity for us to express our opinions and and to strengthen our voice. And because there's Dutch elections this Wednesday also, we have more of an opportunity to raise awareness about treaty change and trying youth to go vote, and also to think of ways how they want to see Europe in the future. So thank you for this opportunity, and I hope for more cooperation with UEF in the future.
Thanks. Sure. We are very happy that also the young Federalists joined this opportunity, this initiative, and we continue for next steps. And I don't know, we have more speakers.
I think we have Esther.
Yes, I'm feeling, yeah, there is, we are missing French. So yeah, I'm not French, but I'm Spanish, but I'm living in France, so that is Europe. And we were also part of Saturdays for Europe, and we made it in a digital way. So all colleagues, I think they are following from the web streaming. They were taking part with all the frame on social media and also sharing. So that's also very important. Maybe you cannot join a demonstration. You cannot go, unfortunately, to Milan or Pavia, but you can share on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and that's it's very, very powerful. So please don't hesitate to share and ask for the visuals, and we can try to do something to have an impact, and also to make visible this important moment in Europe. And yeah, I have all my colleagues passing there, so that's nice. So I think we made the tour.
Yes, indeed. I think we had all the speakers. There's just one, Esther Nagy, from Hungary. I don't know if, I think we have a video. And I think Davide at the Regia, which once again, we thank very much for his efforts. He's doing a tremendous job behind the scene. Here is Esther.
Hungarian.
Let's hear her.
Section of the Union of European Federalists, we also support the proposal of the AFCO Committee of the European Parliament, suggesting a convent in order to negotiate and decide about the treaty reform to make the European Union more efficient in decision-making and more federal. Mi, a magyar szekciója az Európai Föderalisták Uniójának szintén támogatjuk az Európai Parlament Alkotmányügyi Bizottságának a javaslatát, annak érdekében, hogy összeüljön egy európai konvent, és megtárgyalja az Európai Unió alapszerződéseinek a reformját. Annak érdekében, hogy javuljon a döntéshozatal, és hogy legyen egy föderálisabb Európai Unió. We, the Hungarian.
Excellent, and an intervention in Hungarian as well. So thank you, Esther. Thank you to all the speakers. I think we covered everything. We just have to thank you for watching. Thank to our delightful public for coming today. Thank you, Olaya.
Thanks to you.
It was a pleasure. And with 2 minutes ahead of the schedule, maybe we can just conclude with reading some of the comments we received tonight. So as we said, some people want to organize again, some want to emulate the Saturdays for Europe. Please do. You can contact the UEF, and we'll make sure to help you set up your actions in your city. And
this initiative has just started, and I think we can continue to support it, even because we'll have the vote this week in Strasbourg, but it's only the beginning, so we need you.
Indeed. So good luck to the reports for on Wednesday. Thank you to the FEC who hosted us tonight in Strasbourg, and have a good night and a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.